Okay guys, in this video I want to talk about kites. So kites are, perhaps you have a little feeling about what they are from, what they look like because, many people play with them when they're kids. But kites are a quadrilateral, so a quadrilateral with consecutive sides, that are congruent. So there's two sets of sides basically that are congruent. So I've drawn a picture here. We have a kite. Let me label this A, B, C, D. And so the consecutive sides would be AB and BC. Those are congruent. And CD and DA. Let me draw that a little better. DA are congruent. And so when you have consecutive sides, two sets of consecutive sides are congruent. So this is what a kite is mathematically. So we have a couple of theorems. If a quadrilateral is a kite, then its diagonals intersect at right angles. So let's say I have a kite here. Okay. Okay, so I've got a kite here. All right. And so a kite, again, the definition is that these are congruent. Okay. Now, what it's saying is that the diagonals are going to intersect at a 90-degree angle. And I'm just going to talk this through a little bit. But basically, if you have, let me put some points in here, A, B, C, and D. And let's put E here. Okay, so E is going to be on AC. So E is on somewhere on AC, right? And we know that since AD, so AD and CD, since those are congruent, okay, that means that there's a point on BD. There's a point on BD such that the shortest distance is possible between that point and D. So because these two are congruent, we know that D is the shortest distance away from some point E, right? Well, the shortest distance means that it must be perpendicular. So that means these must be perpendicular, okay? And so if those are perpendicular, then these are all perpendicular. And so the diagonals of a kite do in fact intersect in right angles. Okay. Second theorem is if a quadrilateral is a kite, then exactly one pair of opposite angles is congruent. So let me draw this kite here. Okay. If a quadrilateral is a kite, so again we have a kite, then exactly one pair of opposite angles is congruent. So I hope you can see which pair that is. All right. So what it's saying is that either A and C are congruent or B and D are congruent. Okay. Hopefully you can see which it is. So if we draw a line, I want to draw a diagonal between the two. Draw a diagonal between the two, the angles that separate the congruent sides. Okay, so draw the diagonal between the angle, or from the angles that divide the two congruent sides. Okay, so I've got that. Now, obviously this is congruent to itself. So, we know, let's see here, by SSS, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABC, ADC. Okay, so then we've proven the proof, because we want to show that one pair of opposite angles is congruent, so we've done that. So in a kite, when you draw a line between, it has to be between the angle between the two angles that are between the two congruent sides, and then that will give you the other sides will be congruent. Now, usually, like in this example or in other examples, you can see which angles would be congruent. It's usually fairly obvious, but you can use this proof to do some examples. So let's go ahead and look at these examples. Here we have a kite. Again, the definition of a kite is a quadrilateral with two consecutive sides that are congruent and two consecutive sides that are also congruent. So we've got that. So we want to figure out what x is, x degrees. So using this theorem, we know that this should also be x degrees. Okay? We know that that should be x degrees. And we know that this is a quadrilateral, so there are 360 degrees total. So x plus 118 plus x plus 72 is going to equal, we know there are 360 degrees in a quadrilateral. So we get 2x plus, it looks like 190 equals 360. So 2x equals, let's see here, 170. So x equals 85 degrees there. Okay. Moving down to this problem, we know, again, we have a kite by definition, 5, 5, 12, 12. So we have a kite by definition. So we know that these diagonals using theorem, the first theorem we proved here, these are all right angles. Okay, so x is going to equal 90 degrees. All right. And if x is 90, if this is 90, then we have a 5, 3, y right triangle. So let me write that down here. Okay, we have 5, 3, y. Now again, if you don't know right away what the answer is, you can use Pythagorean theorem, which says that y squared plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. So y squared plus 9 equals 25. Y squared equals 16. So y is going to equal 4. And hopefully, maybe by now you know about things such as 3, 4, 5 triangles and stuff like that. So hopefully this helped you guys get a little better understanding of kites. And you could see some theorems, some properties, and how to apply those. Thanks for watching.